Am I risking what I have? Lesson 7, luck. Bill Gates went to the only high school in the world with a computer. 1 in a million odds. His best friend, Kent Evans, was just as smart, just as driven, had the same vision. Kent could have been a Microsoft co-founder. But Kent died in a mountaineering accident before graduation. Also, 1 in a million odds. Same luck, same odds, opposite results. You think your success is all skill. When things go right, you feel like a genius. When they go wrong, you feel like a failure. But here's the truth. You're not either one. You're underestimating how much luck is involved. Luck plays a bigger role than you think. That promotion only happened because your coworker quit. That job opportunity came because someone recommended you at the right time. But here's the thing about luck. It swings both ways. Good luck can make you rich. Bad luck can make you broke. Most people prepare for neither. They assume good times will last forever and bad times will never come. The people who build real wealth understand this. You can't control luck, but you can control how long you survive when bad luck hits. If you have enough money saved, you can ride out the bad times and be ready when good times return. Start saving $50 every week for bad luck. Call it your emergency fund or things happen fund, whatever makes you actually do it. Because when bad luck hits, and it will, you'll survive long enough for good luck to find you again. The people who get wiped out are the ones who never planned for anything going wrong. Lesson 8, the trader who had everything and lost it all. Jesse Livermore made the equivalent of $3 billion in one day during the 1929 stock market crash. He was the richest man in America. 4 years later, he was broke and took his own life. How do you go from $3 billion to broke in 4 years? Easy. You confuse getting money with keeping money. Getting money and keeping money are totally different skills. Getting money requires risk, optimism, and putting yourself out there. Keeping money requires the opposite: humility, fear, and accepting that what you made can disappear just as fast. People respect hustle, but they overlook survival, the boring, cautious part that actually keeps you free. Staying rich means you prepare for the unexpected. Avoid putting it all on the line. Buffett's not just great because he's smart. He's great because he never blew up. He never started all over again. Most people think if your portfolio goes down by 50%, you just need a 50% gain to get back. But that's wrong. You need a 100% gain just to break even. That's why protecting what you've built matters more than chasing what you don't have. Lesson for you is this: get bold to build wealth. But once you're ahead, shift to protection mode. Lesson 9, the one thing money actually buys. Money doesn't buy happiness. You've heard that a million times, but money buys something more valuable than happiness: control over your time. The ability to wake up and say, I can do whatever I want today, is worth more than any car, house, or vacation. It's the highest dividend money pays. Most people use money wrong. They buy bigger houses, nicer cars, expensive clothes. All that stuff just creates more problems. What they should be buying is freedom. Freedom from saying yes to things they hate because they need the money. Freedom from working weekends. Freedom from checking email on vacation. Think about it. What makes you happier? A new iPhone? Or sleeping in on Monday because you don't need your job?
আমাদের সাথে এই মুহূর্তে উপস্থিত আছেন আমাদের শিক্ষার্থী জুনেল আহমেদ। জুনেল আহমেদ এখন পর্যন্ত প্রিন্ট মিডিয়ার অনেক কাজ কমপ্লিট করেছেন এবং প্রিন্ট মিডিয়া থেকে তিনি ইনকাম করেছেন প্রায় 1,50,000 টাকা, হুইচ ইজ প্রায় $1,500 কাছাকাছি। আমরা সবাই অনেক অনেক শুভকামনা তাকে জানাই এবং আমরা
The people who figure this out early are the ones who win. They live below their means, not because they're cheap, but because they're buying something more valuable than stuff. Options. Here's what you need to understand. Every dollar you spend on impressing other people is a dollar that can't buy you freedom later. Start tracking every dollar you spend trying to look successful. Expensive coffee, brand name clothes, eating out to show off. Add it up for 1 month. That number? That's how much your ego costs. Now, imagine putting that money toward freedom instead of status. Lesson 10. Wealth is what you don't see. There was a guy named Roger who drove a Porsche to the hotel where the author worked as a valet. Everyone thought Roger was rich. Then one day he showed up in a beat-up Honda. Next week, same Honda. The author says, one day I asked what happened to his Porsche. Repossessed. Turns out Roger was broke. He just had an expensive car payment. Meanwhile, Ronald Reed, the janitor, walked around in old clothes and drove a rusty truck. He had $8 million when he died. Nobody saw that coming. Here's what most people don't understand. Wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the cars not purchased, the clothes not bought, the restaurants not visited, the upgrades declined. Real wealth is invisible because it's just money sitting in account, growing quietly. We judge wealth by what people show us, but what they show us is often the opposite of wealth. It's spending, and spending money means you no longer have that money. The person driving the $100,000 Mercedes might be wealthy, or they might just be someone who spent $100,000 they didn't have. You can't tell the difference by looking. Meanwhile, the person driving the 10-year-old Toyota might be broke. Or they might have $2 million in index funds and just don't care about cars. Real wealth gives you options. Fake wealth gives you payments. Real wealth is invisible. Fake wealth is loud. Every month, look at your bank account and ask, am I getting richer or just looking richer? If you're buying things to appear wealthy, you're moving away from actual wealth. Lesson 11, the one wealth rule everyone ignores. Most people think getting rich is about earning more money. Wrong. Getting rich is about spending less money than you make. That's it. That's the whole secret. You can make $200,000 a year and be broke if you spend $210,000. You can make $40,000 a year and get rich if you spend $30,000. It's not rocket science. But somehow everyone misses this. You have more control over your spending than your income. Your boss controls your salary. The economy controls job opportunities. But you control every dollar that leaves your bank account. Think about it like this. There are 2 ways to have more money at the end of the month. Make $1,000 more or spend $1,000 less. Making $1,000 more means asking for a raise, finding a better job, or starting a side hustle. All hard. Spending $1,000 less means skipping some restaurants, buying a cheaper car, or moving to a smaller place. Much easier. Saving money is like getting a raise that never gets taxed. If you save $100, you keep $100. If you earn an extra $100, you might keep $70 after taxes. The people who get rich aren't the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who save the most. Income gets you started. Savings rate gets you wealthy. So, look at your last month's spending. Find $200 you spent on stuff you didn't really need, maybe eating out, subscriptions you forgot about, or impulse purchases. Now, set up an automatic transfer of $200 from checking to savings every month. You just gave yourself a $2,400 annual raise without asking your boss for anything. Lesson 12. You don't need to be rational, just reasonable. In the early 1900s, a doctor named Julius Jared won the Nobel Prize for curing syphilis. His method? Injecting patients with malaria to give them a fever hot enough to kill the syphilis. It worked, but it was insane. Some patients died from the malaria, but it was the best option they had. Here's the weird part. We now know fevers help fight infection, so technically giving people fevers was the smart thing to do. But no parent today wants their kid to have a fever. Even though fevers help, they hurt. So we give kids medicine to stop fevers. Money works the same way. The mathematically perfect choice and the choice you can actually live with are often different. Harry Markowitz won the Nobel Prize for creating the perfect investment formula. But when asked how he invested his own money, he said, I split it 50-50 between stocks and bonds because I didn't want to regret whatever happened. That wasn't what his math said to do, but it helped him sleep at night. This is called being reasonable instead of rational. Maybe you took your low interest loans early, not because it's optimal, but because it lets you sleep better. That's not dumb, that's reasonable. If you've been beating yourself up for not following the perfect financial plan, stop. You're not a spreadsheet. You're a human with feelings, fears, and dreams. The best financial strategy isn't the one that looks perfect on paper. It's the one you can stick with when markets crash and you're scared. Pick investments you can hold when they drop 30%. Sleep at night matters more than squeezing out an extra 1% return. Lesson 13. Why history won't save you. The 2008 financial crisis was unlike anything since the 1930s. COVID shutting down the world was totally new. But we keep using old past data to make new predictions. It's like trying to predict earthquakes by studying past earthquakes. The big one that destroys everything is always the one nobody saw coming. Here's what's really wild. 15 billion people lived in the 19th and 20th centuries. But if just 7 people had never been born, Hitler, Stalin, Edison, Bill Gates, and a few others, the entire world would be completely different today. That's how much random events control everything. A few crazy things happen and suddenly all your historical data is useless. Every financial disaster starts with someone saying, that's never happened before, so it never will. The solution isn't to predict the unpredictable, it's to prepare for anything. This means build a margin of safety. Expect the unexpected. Don't run your finances on max capacity. Because the world won't ask if you're ready, it'll just punch you in the face. So, always leave room for life to surprise you. Things that have never happened before happen all the time. The only certain thing in life is uncertainty. Lesson 14. The smartest people always have a plan B. Pilots carry extra fuel. Your car has a spare tire. And smart people always have backup plans. But most people don't do this with money. They plan for everything to go perfectly. I'll definitely get that raise. My business will definitely take off. Then reality hits. You don't get the raise, your business struggles, the market crashes, and suddenly you're broke because you bet everything on your perfect plan. Here's what successful people understand. You can make all the right moves.
যে কোনো কিছু, প্রয়োজনীয় সবকিছু।
ঠান্ডা।
এই গরমে মানুষ আপনাকে ভুলে গেলেও আপনার ফ্রেশ স্মেলটাকে মনে রাখবে। আমাদের এই পারফিউম